Photo Live. Welcome to our website. If it's your first time here on our website, we want to welcome you and hope you have a good time exploring the site and finding the product that you need. For you who are not familiar with Midwest Photo Live, and Midwest Photo in general, we're a photo, video, audio, and printing specialty store right here in the heart of Columbus, Ohio. We're just off the 71 exit of Weber Road on Silver Drive. You cannot miss us. It says Midwest Photo real big on the side of our building. If you're anywhere near us at any point in time, make sure you stop in. It's always a great time when people stop in. People from all over come to see our salespeople, their friendly faces, get their tips, tricks, their advice on gear. And what we do here on Midwest Photo Live is bring that in-store experience to you, our online customers. And we want to make sure that you get that in-store experience as much as possible every week here on Midwest Photo Live. So we want to thank you for joining us. If you have any questions, there is a chat option. For those who are joining on Facebook or YouTube, you may want to head over onto our website, www.mpex.com. There you will actually see pop-ups on the window as I'm talking about products and announcing discounts and deals and promo codes. You'll actually see those on the screen so that you can click on them and navigate to those products without interrupting your video feed whatsoever. But if you want to just keep me on Facebook or on YouTube, that's fine too. I'll check those comments as they start popping up. But we want to welcome you here today, and we're very excited that you're here. We're going to talk about some Earth Day products and how to be a more sustainable shooter with some of the products that we're going to talk about today. We'll announce some discounts. But before we get started, I did mention that we are a printing store as well. So we do actual photo prints. And for those who had maybe never received one of these in a package or stopped in our store and picked one up, I'm just going to show this on camera too here. This is a flyer that you'd normally get if you received a shipment from us or if you've stopped in our store. This is our printing website. This is MidwestPhotoPix.com. It's separate from mpex.com. This is where you're going to order photos and print gifts. Some of those print gifts you see here on our flyer, we make canvas wraps, gallery wraps, floating wall hangers. There's desks, desk art, coasters, mugs, teddy bears, puzzles, anything that you can think of that you want to put your photos on. Those are going to be available at MidwestPhotoPix.com. You'll probably notice the little icon in the corner here says turn me over for a special deal. And let's talk about that real quick, because on MidwestPhotoPix.com you can sign up for a membership. It's absolutely free. Let me repeat that. Absolutely free. There's no cost to you for signing up for a membership, and it comes with 3 big benefits. So membership just has to do with going on to MidwestPhotoPix.com, entering your email and setting up a password, and you're a member. There's, again, no cost to you whatsoever, and it's going to come with 3 big benefits. And that first benefit is going to be on the back of this card. So if you look at the back of this card, it says enjoy 20% off your first visit at MidwestPhotoPix.com, and that's when you become a member. So if you log on to MidwestPhotoPix.com, you've never been there, make sure you go ahead and sign up for a membership, because that first order is going to be 20% off. That is not a discount that we hand out except with that first order. So it doesn't matter if you're going to order $10 worth of photo prints and gifts or $1,000 worth of photo prints and gifts. 20% is 20%, so you want to make sure that you maximize your first order to be well worth it, because the more you spend, the more you're going to save. And the second benefit you're going to get is very similar. So every quarter, we send out an email with about 3 to 4 deals on select products or categories on MidwestPhotoPix.com. This way you can enjoy things throughout the year and discounts on those. Maybe if it's Father's Day, you can pick up a discount on a mug. If it's Christmas and you're trying to get some ornaments for friends and family as a present, you can order those at a discount. So it just depends on the season. It depends on what we want to see people printing that holiday season or that season of the year. But you'll always get an email about every 3 months, or regular emails with products. They'll be there at the very bottom. You'll see all of those deals that are available quarterly, exclusive to our members. And the third and final benefit is probably one of my favorite, and that's going to be unlimited free photo storage. And I'm going to say that again because a lot of people don't hear me when I say that, and they miss the free part. So it is free unlimited photo storage. So on MidwestPhotoPix.com, you're going to have a section in there called My Photos. And here you can create albums and upload JPEGs. Up to 40 megapixels or 36 megabytes is going to be the limit on JPEGs. And you can upload as many as you want. So if that's 1 megabyte or a whole terabyte worth of data that you want to back up onto MidwestPhotoPix.com, you can do that. And in fact, you can even create shareable links on MidwestPhotoPix.com. so that you can share those with your friends and family if they want to order photos from you, or if they have seen some of your photos and they're like, oh, I remember that photo, I got that link still, I want to get that for my office. And they can shoot you a message and say, hey, how much would it be for this as a 20 by 30 canvas in my office? So make sure you check that out. Those are the 3 big benefits behind becoming a member. If you are not a member today and you're on desktop, go ahead and just open another tab in your browser and type in Midwest Photo Picks so that after this broadcast you can finish up signing up for that free membership. Again, free membership, free photo storage, instant first-time discount, and then quarterly discounts after that. There's really no going wrong with signing up for a membership. So that's MidwestPhotoPics.com. Make sure you guys do that because we always love seeing your photos. We always love seeing them printed because we take photos and we don't want them to die on a memory card or a hard drive. We want to see those in physical representation. So make sure you sign up for a membership, print off a few of your photos, give them the courtesy, the time that you took to capture them and print them as well. So today is Earth Day. Welcome to Earth Day. Happy Earth Day, everybody. I hope you're doing something sustainable for the planet today. Hopefully every day. I try to do something every day that is a little bit healthier for the planet, whether that's going for a walk down to the store rather than driving there, or catching the bus, or things that help really minimize our carbon footprint. So today I want to talk to you about some products that would help minimize your carbon footprint or be a more sustainable photographer or videographer. And there's a number of different ways that we can go about this. And I'm going to show off some cool stuff today, maybe some vintage stuff. But the first thing I want to get started with is something that's all near and dear to our heart, and that's a Geodos Rocket Blaster. You guys have probably seen these in our store before. They look like this in the packaging. I've got one out right here. So that's what they look like, little tiny rocket. It stands up nice and neat. It's got a little intake valve on the bottom, and then you blow with this side. It's really easy to use. And why is this going to make you a more sustainable shooter? To be a sustainable shooter, you want to try to minimize your waste as much as possible. So why this, right? Some of you may be familiar with something like this. This is canned air. You can hear it. You can actually sometimes see it. Yeah, you see some of the condensation coming out of the tip here. This is not something you want to be using on digital cameras. Maybe around the edges to get some dust off, but you don't ever want to use this directly on a sensor because of some of that condensation that can mess with it. You can create a static charge that can really damage some pixels on your sensor. So you don't want to use this on digital cameras. Film shooters have been tending to use these a lot more lately because they do a great job of getting air off of your negatives as you're scanning them or printing them. But this is pretty bad for the environment. There's a lot of nasty things inside of here. Kids have been known to abuse these. Now, there's a time and a place for canned air. If you can get your hands on one of those reusable, compressible, non-canned air compressors that are electronic, those are great, but they're a little bit expensive. These guys are only $17.99. But today, we're going to give you 15% off by using Earth 2. That's Earth, our planet, and the number 2 to get 15% off through May 3rd on this. Now, this is great just because I think every photographer needs one of these in their bags. It's super affordable. You can squish it down and kind of fold it up to fit it into a pocket if you need it to. The only thing is that there are some troubles getting these on planes, but recently the TSA has been a lot more understanding with packing in one of these into your camera bag. So if you need something that is an alternative to canned air, I highly recommend this because it's reusable, it's not going to run out, and it's not bad for the environment. So this is a great way, a great affordable way to start off Earth Day by picking up an extra rocket blaster blower from Geodos. Or a similar. We have tinier ones too, but this is the one that we're going to do 15% off today. So make sure you get that 15% off through May 3rd on this one by using Earth 2. This is a great product that's going to help you be a better and more sustainable photographer for our Earth. Now, another thing I want to talk about today are companies that also give back to the environment. So one of those companies that we work with is called Peak Design, and I know a lot of you are familiar with Peak Design products. We've got a few in our store here. The ones that I want to show off today are going to be the carbon fiber travel tripod and the capture clip. But before I get to that, I want to talk to you about why I've chosen Peak Design products today. So Peak Design is a company that participates with an organization called 1% Back to the Planet. 1% Back to the Planet is an organization that works with companies in order to assess their revenue streams and then require them to give 1% of their revenue back to the environment. Now, Peak Design is a big company. They're in all kinds of different stores. They're all over the planet. I've seen their bags just walking down the street by non-photographers. So any sale from a Peak Design product, you know that 1% is going to go back to the environment, which is a great, great cause. They've also strived to make their processes, their manufacturing processes, and their communication and sales practices as green and carbon neutral as possible. So I always love supporting Peak Design. There's also other companies that you might be familiar with that participate with 1% for the planet, like OXO Goods that you might find in your kitchen, Patagonia jackets. There's all kinds of great organizations that participate with 1% for the planet. Peak Design is only one of them. So make sure you look out for a 1% for the planet signal on some of your product packages, and know that by buying one of those products, you are doing good and giving back to the environment. So let's talk about the Peak Design tripod. We've got both aluminum and carbon. The aluminum one's about $350. The carbon fiber one is about $599, but we're going to do 20% off today with Earth 3. That's big savings on these tripods. 20% on $600 is quite a bit, and it is as well on $350. So make sure you check out this discount, Earth 3, again, for that 20% off. But I do want to go over this tripod a little bit. It's a great little tripod. It is a full-size tripod, but you'll notice how compact it is. When you fold it down, there's actually no space in between the legs whatsoever. So you'll notice that it is as compact as possible. It's got the smallest footprint of any tripod I've really seen that is full size. It does this by using non-tubular legs. So you'll notice that the legs are a little bit flatter, but there's just a quick release and those come out nice and neat. The other great thing about this is on the side of this tripod, I'll go ahead and put this on camera too since it's a bit smaller, but on the side of the tripod, you'll notice this little belt holster here, and it's got a tool on it. And this tool is going to be good for any of those tripod plates that the Peak Design system uses, whether that's for the capture clip or for the tripod. Both are compatible with this tripod. There's also an ARC adapter that you can purchase for it that I'm not featuring on the show today, but this is the carbon fiber version. You can see the carbon fiber patterning on it. That means this is going to be ultra lightweight. This fits in essentially a water bottle pocket of any camera bag. If you've got a water bottle pocket on the side, like we showed you in the bags episode a while back. If you want to check out some of our older episodes, we're at mpex.com/live, so you can check out some of those bags. But this is going to allow you, this compact design is going to allow you to fit that into the water bottle pocket of any camera bag. Now, what's really unique is going to be this head. So this center column does extend out, but you'll notice the head is a little bit different compared to most other tripods. It's what's considered an inverted ball head. Now this means that it's incredibly strong. It might not look strong, but I'm telling you right now, we've put 70 to 200s, 200s to 600s on this ball head here on the Peak Design travel tripod, and they have worked out great. In addition to being able to use it as a traditional tripod, it does have the legs that kind of angle out so you can get quite a bit lower. And there's an accessory you can purchase for getting even lower, a ground level, if you will. But also on the bottom, you'll have your traditional hook that you normally have on most tripods where you can hang a bag. But what's really unique about that is that hook actually comes out and a little accessory pops out of the bottom. That accessory is going to be a phone clip. So not only is it going to be able to hold your camera, but if you're doing any mobile photography or mobile vlogging, this phone clip right here is going to work with the ball head, and it actually stows away nice and neat magnetically in the center column of that tripod. So it's very convenient whether you're going with mobile photography or if you're going with traditional photography or videography. Again, the carbon version's $599, aluminum version's $349, but you can save 20% by using Earth 3 through May 3rd. Now, if you're already using the Peak Design travel tripod, might I recommend the Peak Design capture clip. This is the version 3, I believe, of this system. Yeah, because their first version was a Kickstarter and their second version was really great, but they wanted to improve more, so they brought in some designers from Apple to make this as sleek as possible. You heard me right. Peak Design actually employed and poached people from Apple in order to be able to design a product like this, which is really cool. It's a little bit smaller, so I'm going to show it on the second camera here. So this plate right here is really nice. This is the orientation it would typically be in. You'll notice right here on this clip, it turns left and or up and down, I should say. And this is going to lock the mechanism completely so your camera does not come out. Now this is going to be the plate that your camera attaches to, and it simply slides out by pushing that button and then sliding it out. This also serves as the tripod plate for the Peak Design travel tripod, so you can easily carry something like this, like it shows on the box, right on your camera strap, or belt as well. So regardless if you're trying to work it on your camera strap or your belt, this is a great product to have because it keeps your camera at ready notice if you need to use it. But in addition to that, you have that plate on the bottom that's going to be compatible with this capture clip as well as that Peak Design travel tripod as well. So I should also point out that the Peak Design travel tripod system is built on Arca. So if you're not using the Peak Design travel tripod, this will work on any standard Arca Swiss head. So that's a great option for those who are wanting to have quick access to their cameras, whether that's on their camera strap or their bag strap or on their belt. And then of course it's awesome because it works with Arca plate style ball heads as well as the Peak Design travel tripod as well. All right, so we've talked about Peak Design, we've talked about some things and some companies that are giving back to the community, but not every company is going to be giving back to the environment in some green way. So we had to get creative and think about other products that have helped us become more sustainable as shooters ourselves. So one of those things are these great products from Night Eyes called gear ties. These guys are essentially what they say they are. They're gear ties. So what you can do with these are a number of things. You can wrap up cables. You can form it in a number of different ways to hang it off of something. But you know what? This is a great option for those who are using tons and tons of bags of rubber bands or elastic ties. These guys really, I haven't had any issue with them open, close, breaking it all because it's just a metal flexible core and then a nice rubberized exterior or some ridges. So if you need some extra grip, it helps you with that. And these guys, again, they're great. You're not going to be throwing out rubber bands anymore. You're not going to be buying up a bunch of wasteful elastic ties that are going to get stuck in some turtle's mouth. These gear ties are great. These are only $5.99, but you know what? We've got a few on hand and we've been trying to get rid of some of these because we have a little bit too much. So we want to offer you 30% on these by using Earth 5 through May 3rd. You'll be able to get that 30% off these Night Eyes gear ties. This is an 18-inch one. It's orange. This is the one that we're running the sale on. We do have some other ones if you want to give our store a call at 614-261-1264. But this is great. So, you know, I've got my laptop cable here. I want to make sure it doesn't fall off the table. So I'm just going to wrap it up a few times and then put it on the edge of the table so it makes sure it doesn't fall down. So there are a number of things you can use gear ties for, and they're actually a little bit more versatile than rubber bands. And in addition, they're a lot less wasteful too. So you can see how something like this and purchasing something like this is going to make you less wasteful, really neutralize your carbon footprint, and stop you from putting something into a landfill that otherwise might get stuck in a fish's mouth or you know, around a bird's neck, something that's not going to be great for the environment. We want to do everything we can today on Earth Day to make our environment great. So I'm going to start switching it up a little bit into more of the film realm. And most of you might be thinking, well, isn't film very wasteful? It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be at all. Film can be actually incredibly sustainable if you do it right. So the first thing I want to show off today is a throwback to 1995. Back in 1995, Canon was still making film cameras, and one of the cameras they came out with was actually quite unique, and we happened to get our hands on one today because it is Earth Day, and we have it for sale as well. This is the 1995 Canon Del Sol 35mm point and shoot camera. This is a really cool camera for a number of reasons. One, they're kind of hard to find. Two, these weren't made that long, but it was the very first camera that was 100% solar powered. So you'll actually notice on the front of this, this is a little solar power panel. I'm going to throw this on camera too so you guys can see how cool this camera is. This is a great little point and shoot. It creates sharp images. It has a 3-element lens inside, which most of you might think, oh, 3 elements, that thing's not going to produce anything. That's actually going to produce something worse than my iPhone. But no, those elements are incredibly sharp. I got the opportunity to shoot with this camera. I refurbished it myself because it does require a lithium cell inside. So I refurbished it, added a new lithium cell so that the solar panels could charge that up and make sure it lasts as long as possible. This camera can't be plugged in, battery shouldn't be swapped out. Because why? Because all solar powered. So if you want something that's going to be able to allow you to shoot without having to plug it into a wall, this is the camera to be with. The way that you activate it is simply by opening that solar panel, and you'll have your lens here, and it'll eject out when it's all charged up. Because I was using it, it's a little uncharged, but there is a red button here on the side that's going to allow you to press that, check the charge, but also it'll give you a gauge on how well your direct sun is. So right now it's being powered by, it's getting charged up by LEDs. Those two bars indicate that it's a little cloudy, and that's because those LEDs, of course, aren't as bright as the sun, and I'm not right up against them. But I could charge this up by leaving it under some LEDs if it wasn't Earth Day, or it's going to be a little sunnier today after the fog burns off, so I'll probably take it outside and make sure it gets all nice and charged up. But it takes 35mm film, which goes in the back here. So you can see you just load it in real nice and neat. But the other nice thing about this is that if you are on a drive, let's say you're on a road trip and you want to be able to charge up your camera because you've shot half a roll in it so far, but you don't want to damage the film. So by leaving it in direct sunlight and that heat, it might get a little hot. But what's really cool that Canon thought of, is a little ejection button on the side actually flips up the solar panel and gives it some air away from the camera body so it doesn't damage your film. That way you're getting a nice angle on the sun and you're not damaging the film inside the camera. So this is a great throwback. This is a great alternative if you're looking to shoot film, film photography, still photography on film. This is a great alternative for those who might want to be a little bit more green. We only have one of these in stock, I'll tell you that, and it's $349.99. Works great. Flash still is functional. Self-timer is still functional. It even comes with the original strap as well. So this is, again, the 1995 Canon Del Sol Sure Shot, the world's very first 100% solar-powered camera. So it recharges on solar into a lithium cell inside and allows you to continue shooting. All right, folks. Now you're thinking, well, that's great. I can recharge my camera with the sun, but let's talk about the film aspect of this, right? Isn't film incredibly wasteful? Well, it doesn't have to be, right? We've got a few different things here that I want to show you that's going to help you be a greener film shooter. And that might seem like an oxymoron, but I assure you that it's not. One of those things is going to be as simple as this. It's a little smaller, so I'll put it on camera too. But this is from a brand called Cult. This is a plastic 35mm film canister. Now you're thinking, why would you just sell me a film canister? Well, if you did not know, you can actually buy 100 feet of black and white 35mm film, and you can bulk load it on one of these things. So instead of buying a film canister every single time to get that Tri-X or T-Max or HP5 Plus from Ilford, you can actually buy it in 100-foot rolls and then get a bulk loader and bulk load it into one of these. That way you're not throwing away a little metal canister that goes into a landfill and just builds up more space over time. This guy can go for a long time so long as the light seals keep up on the edges. But it's as simple as taking off the top, getting this out, putting in your bulk load, and then getting to winding. So this is going to save, you know, over the core, if you buy one of these, which I remind you, I'm not going to put a discount on it because it's only $1.79. But if you buy one of these, you could easily save 100 film canisters from going into a landfill, which is great. So this is one way to be an excellent green film shooter, is by bulk loading your film. Not only are you going to save money, but you're also going to be able to save the environment too, by saving all of those little metal canisters that might have gone into the landfill from preventing from going there. Now, not everybody can bulk load, right? Color shooters have a big problem with this because it's not often that you come across some bulk loadable 100-foot rolls of Kodak Portra or Ektar or Kodak Gold or anything, right? So we here at Midwest Photo, every time that we process a roll of film, instead of taking that little film canister and just tossing it away, making sure it ends up in a landfill, we've actually been able to come up with this. So if you love photography as a passion and you want to show off that passion, we actually take our old 35mm film canisters, here's a Portra 400 roll, and we make them into keychains. These are great little gifts. We only charge $4.95 for these in our store, but for Earth Day, we want to make sure that you guys get in on some of this fun. If you spend $25 on the website today and you use Earth 6, you're going to get this keychain for free. Now, they're totally random. You're not going to be able to pick out your film stock. We've got several on hand, right? So we've got all the Portras, we've got Cinestill, we've got Fuji color, right? So we've got a bunch of different kinds, but you can't pick. I'm sorry, we don't have the time or resources to be able to sift through every single, film stock. So these are great little stocking stuffers, gifts, if you will. You've got a birthday coming up and you forgot something, and you want to make sure you get them something unique. For a photographer, this is an excellent choice. If you pop into our store and you've got a favorite film stock, let's say it's Ektar 100. Oh, we're over here. Say it's Ektar 100. Of course, you can pick that out yourself here. And again, those are $4.95. But again, if you spend $25 on the website today and add this to your cart and then add Earth6 to the promo codes, you're going to get one of these for free. We want to make sure that you guys walk away with one of these little cool products if you're spending some money on our website. All right, the final thing I want to show you is a little bit unique and a little tongue-in-cheek, if you will. So we're talking about Earth Day, we're talking about the planet, but what if you could create your own little planet? And one way to do that is with a 360-degree camera. This one is the Ricoh Theta Z1. It has a 51 gigabyte storage inside, so there's no memory card needed. It's a 360-degree camera that can capture 23 megapixel stills or video, HD video as well. Now, normally these are about $1049, but if you use Earth7, we're going to take $100 off of one of these today. But what's really cool is you get to build your own little world with one of these things. And what I mean is, yeah, you can take a 360-degree picture and you can put it into some VR glasses, you can look it around, but what if we really started to manipulate some of that imagery? So one of the things I did yesterday is I went out to the front of our store and I wanted to capture what I thought would be a really cool photo, a little world of Midwest photos. So what I did is let's see if I can get there. It's in focus and it's bright enough for you all to see, but create a little tiny world there in Midwest Photo at the top. You do see my hand in there, and that's something I could edit out and post, but I just wanted to show you real quick that we can do fun things like that. But you can also do fun little world things like this with video as well. I've got some footage here from our man behind the camera, Mr. Ken Lewis, who's our VP. He took this camera out a while back to show off a little fun excursion with his son, and I'm going to put that up on the screen here so you guys can see that. But he put the camera on his son's car, and his son drove out the garage. But you can see how it creates a little world that he's driving around, which is really, really fun. So not only can you capture little world photos, but you can capture little world videos as well, which is a lot of fun. So remember, if you're looking at getting that Z1 from Ricoh, that Ricoh Theta Z1, use Earth7 to get $100 off of that. Now, folks, I've showed you a lot of cool stuff today, and we'll send you out an email reminder about some of these deals on Monday. But I wanted to wish you a happy, happy Earth Day. It looks like we might have some questions, so I do want to take a look at that. Batteries. I've totally forgot about batteries. There's one other thing that we failed to mention today that can save the environment, and that's going to be rechargeable batteries. PowerX Maha 2700 milliamp AA batteries are what we recommend here at Midwest Photo. We sell tons of these. We use them ourselves. You see us walking around out there with walkie-talkies, or if we're using a wireless mouse. These are the batteries that we use inside. And these are great if you're using a gaming controller or if you're using a TV remote. This here says it can save you up to $1,500 per battery a year, and I don't doubt that whatsoever. I truly believe that using a battery like this, especially the PowerX ones, because even if you let them sit on the shelf for a whole year, it's still going to have 75% of its charge. So you can actually use these long term. They're not those short term batteries that you pick up. But a pack of these is about $13. We've got those on the screen. Show you those. They come in a nice rigid plastic case, so if you need to store them long term, they won't get damaged or anything. We do have some AAAs as well in store, but these are the AA's as well. And then of course, you'll want to make sure that you pick up the Maha charger with that too. This guy is going to charge up your batteries in about an hour. Even has a soft charging feature and a refresh feature, so it can build back those cells to make sure that your batteries are lasting as long as possible. Those PowerX batteries are maximized for this PowerX Maha charger as well. So make sure if you do pick up the batteries, pick up the charger as well, or vice versa. You can never have enough rechargeable AA batteries, especially when they're so good for the earth and they save you tons of money. How can you go wrong with both saving money and saving the earth? You can't. So I want to wish you guys a very happy Earth Day. I'm going to send out an email reminder about some of the products that we've had on sale today. If you have any questions, you can always reach us at 614-261-1264, Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., or email us at mpex@mpex.com. And of course, you can always find us on your favorite social media platforms, whether that's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Reddit, wherever you live online, we live there too. So just give us a shout, we'll make sure to find you. So thank you guys so much for tuning in today. I hope you have a great Earth Day. Make sure to do something great for the Earth today, because this is the only home that we have, the only one